All right, let's see. Hey, everybody. We're trying to get back up and running here. A little bit of technical difficulties with the first app. We're on our third platform tonight. We tried the original way that we used to record shows. That didn't work. We went to YouTube. That didn't work. So here we are. Everything looks like it's running well. Let me just go ahead and make sure the people who are watching on YouTube, make sure. Let's see. Here's the new link for the people watching. Oh, I can't leave a comment. Let's see.
I see it on Facebook.
Oh, yeah?
I'll go ahead. I'll monitor the Facebook stuff. You monitor the YouTube stuff.
Oh, Jeff. Chat closed.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, this is only going to be on Facebook, everybody.
Okay.
Here we are. We are back. We are live once again. Second time tonight on, again, the third platform we tried to live stream on. We're here with Wil Haven McKaskle from Nashville. Talking
What's
about
up?
What's going on?
I don't
Will's
need that
back.
big introduction. We've already done it.
We need to give you the big old introduction. It's the least we could do.
All right.
After officially, we're starting 37 minutes late if we're anybody's keeping the minutes on this.
Yeah.
So we did
My
kind
life
of.
is, I'm sure.
We were my wife. We ran a kind of a mock draft on YouTube. We're going to delete that video. We're starting fresh right now. As we mentioned before, it's been a while since we've all been together. It was really episode 2 or 3 of our podcast when we were only audio. We were just trying to tell stories, and we've since grown to video production and disc reviews and tournament coverage. And but you were there way back in the beginning. We were very fortunate enough to get that time with you and talk about a different tournament that you were hosting back then. So I guess just kind of catching up. How are things going? What's new? What's going on?
Lots of things are new and exciting, but it's always a pleasure to be with my friends at the Disc Golf Examiner. We already covered a lot of this in our dress rehearsal, but it's all, Brian and Jeff, good to see you guys. Brian, congratulations to you and Al on the engagement and the upcoming wedding and nuptials and all that stuff.
Yeah.
2016, me and J Ray did an interview with you guys about Halloween at Ogwood, and which that event is still going strong, getting bigger and bigger every year. And I'll be turning right around and starting work on that once I get past Music City Open, which this year is blowing everybody's expectations out of the water. But man, I really, it's grown by leaps and bounds in all aspects that it possibly could have. Things are good in Nashville.
Yeah. I mean, we're hearing about it up here too. It's really a big event this year, and we're excited to have you on to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm always honored to be here.
And speaking of growing, I mean, how has it been received? How have sponsors been receiving the tournament over the years? Like who's all on board this year?
Well, we've always been very fortunate to have kind of sponsors in our backyard. When Music City Disc Golf was first founded back in 2012, Dynamic Disc was our original sponsor, but that was before they ever had their own discs. And obviously with Will Schusterick in our backyard, we have been fortunate enough to have Prodigy sponsor our bag tag series for the last few years. This year we've been working a lot with Dynamic Disc, and Dynamic Disc is the title or presenting sponsor of this year's Music City Open. And can't say enough good things about being able to work with Dynamic Disc, and Derek Savory has really taken good care of us this year and really helped us kind of blow Music City Open up. Our staff, this is our big show every year in Nashville. We always try to make Music City Open bigger and better than it was the year before, and figure out new ways that we can make it more special. And some of the sponsors that we have on board with us this year, in addition to Dynamic Discs, is my sponsor, Eat Sleep Disc out of Birmingham, Alabama, Chris Pierce and Jeff Van Meter, my good friends, and also WhalePants, Eric and Tina. Everybody knows Eric and Tina. They'll be on hand as vendors, and they'll be there for our fly party and our awards ceremony. Also, the Nashville Disc Golf Store that we do a lot of work with throughout the year. Ed and Kim Birdie at Flying Colors Disc Golf. Doc Turner at Combat Disc Golf, and Wil Schusterick and Prodigy. Those are our vendor sponsors this year. And they'll all be running events leading up to the Music City Open. And we're excited to have them on hand. We've also had a lot of help from Lyme Warrior Disc Golf, Derek Savory's company, Heiser Flip Disc Golf Apparel out of Vineland, New Jersey. Isaac Henson at Custom Shades LLC provided us with custom sunglasses for the Music City Open for players packs. The disc golf lawyer Marcus Burnett. The Hermitage location of Papa John's gave us bags to put all our players packs in. Harper Thompson and his media outfit Harper Disc Life are going to be doing film coverage. Howard Disc Golf, Ben Howard out of Chattanooga, is going to be doing some film coverage. Tennessee Sheep Shearing, and of course the guys that serve with me on the Music City Disc Golf Board of Directors, and Alan Posey in particular. Thanks, Alpo.
Yeah, it really does.
I know it's a mouthful. I'll let you guys catch up. That's
well, I'm not hearing Jeff right now, but I do want to say that it does take so many people to make an event like this possible. And I think it's really interesting to see all of the people support from the community. And it's really important to be able to incorporate the community with the disc golf with the community. I think it helps grow the sport, helps get the word out there about it. And on top of that, it's really, you're bringing people in from out of town that's supporting the community. And it's great all around for everybody, I think.
yeah, and it's a kind of an interesting tightrope to walk, because one of our goals every year is to make the Music City Open bigger and get more attention on it. But also at the same time, we have to consider that it's a legacy event for our region. And there are certain things that people expect of it, certain, nods that, we are expected to give to the community. And so we always try to run it in a way where we can bring in big manufacturers and sponsors, but still have our local retailers and our local vendors involved, and our regional supporters involved as well. So the sponsorship, you can attract it from anywhere, really. I mean, the more events you run, the more of a reputation you develop, the easier it becomes to attract bigger sponsors. But you can find 100 sponsors just walking down the street. People are always trying to get into business and look for ways to advertise. And it kind of goes hand in hand. I mean, I think disc golf is a great engine for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and not to mention, in order to attract the top pros to an event like this, like, you need them, right? You need the sponsors, you need the support. How do you normally get that type of support?
Well, as far as with our bigger name sponsors, like Dynamic Disc being our title sponsor, before I was affiliated with the Music City Disc Golf Club, I was running events on my own for a while, and I've been a member of Team Trilogy since it started in 2014. So I've been blessed to have developed relationships with a lot of people involved in the leadership of the Trilogy companies, and support from that direction was never hard to come by for me, thankfully. So I've been fortunate enough to work with J Ray on several events, as we talked about a couple of years back. So for my intents and purposes, it's all kind of organic. But as far as if your goals exceed the level of support and sponsorship that you can get locally, and you need to seek out bigger events or whatever the case may be, just being able to show what you are capable of, and what your community is capable of, and show what you're trying to achieve, and just being active and growing the sport, and making that visible, and sponsors will come. You can get sponsors from anywhere. So
yeah.
As far as the pros, as far as attracting big name pros, I mean, that's depending on what your goals are for your event. I wouldn't say that having 20 of the top rated professional disc golfers in the world at your event is the benchmark by which you measure whether or not your tournament is successful or quality. We've been on a trend we've been running the Music City Open consecutively since 2010. And, some of our current champions are King Climo, Cam Cole Glazier, Matt Oram, Simon Lizotte, Will Schusterick, Todd Bagwell, Chris Dickerson. So, and we get almost all of them except for Climo and Lizotte, I think, back this year. So it's going to be a cool thing to watch. But really, as far as attracting big name pros, it's a perfect kind of formula, kind of set of circumstances that you have to create. Location is important. Dates are important. We got fortunate enough to get the first choice of dates that we gave the PDGA this year, which put us the weekend before Ledgestone with not much else going on. And a lot of the pros are traveling on their way up to Illinois. And so this is a logical stop. And also, it's an A tier this year for all divisions. So there's added cash to pay out. So that's another thing that attracts the competitors that are on the road trying to make a living. Also, creating interesting and unique opportunities for people to get involved as vendors, I think, is helpful, because now you're looking at a climate where even the people that are competing on the tour often have a supplemental side job that they're doing. They have a business. Eric and Tina have whale sacks and their custom stuff, and more and more people that are on the tour are kind of taking that up. Erin Gripsmo with Team Westside, she's got the Bust a Knee disc golf pads, and so accommodating for that and creating opportunities for more people to be involved. That's another thing that can attract people. And being accessible, just trying to put yourself in everybody else's shoes helps a lot too.
So we have we have some good comments coming in. Danny Lane's commenting, Will and the board of directors do a fantastic job. Can you tell us a little bit about the disc golf scene in Nashville? I've been able to visit once, and it was a fantastic experience. I'm just sort of, for anybody who hasn't been to Nashville and played with you guys, what's the disc golf scene like there?
I think the thing, hands down, first and foremost, that separates what we have going on in Nashville from other regions in the country is that we are a very large community, but we are still very close-knit. We all are a big family. We all know each other. We love each other. We do our best to look out for one another through ups and downs and thicks and thins and differences and good times and bad. We're all here because we just want to play disc golf with our friends. And I think it's a commitment to that we've kind of fostered and cultivated over the years that now is kind of prevalent to everything we do. And people know that when they come out to one of our events, they're going to be treated like family. They're going to be greeted like family, and they know that we're going to do everything we can to make sure that they have a good time. And I think that's what keeps people coming out, especially when you have people like Danny Lane and all those OGs, the disc golf pioneers of Nashville that still come around and bring legitimacy to what I'm trying to do.
And this is a big event every year. Do you know what year this is for the Music City Open? Well,
I mean, there have been different iterations of it. I know that there was a Music City Open in '98. I think Ken Folger ran that. Could have been somebody totally different. I think Phil Arthur won the '98 Music City Open, but then if it happened between '98 and 2010, it wasn't sanctioned. Alan Posey would.
Whoop.
But
sorry. I think we froze there for a second.
No, I'm back.
Yeah, you're back.
Call. Yeah. Yeah. If Central Coast Disc Golf just tried to call me, then they should know that you guys are more important.
Ooh,
just kidding. Not more important, but I'm busy talking to you guys. I don't know. That was a phone number that I don't recognize, but I've been waiting for a call from some people. So anyway,
Right.
what were we talking about?
We should actually. That's a perfect segue, actually. We are actually. I want to talk to you about the
since
disc golf.
2010.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just going to say that since 2010, we've been running the Music City Open consecutively, and yeah, that was the end of that thought. Sorry.
That's right.
I should have turned my phone off.
Not a problem. So the other things that are involved in a tournament, media coverage. What does it take for a TD to get media coverage for an event, and how is media coverage for disc golf evolving, do you think?
Media coverage is, well, that's an interesting question. I want to say shout out to Corey and Ian at Central Coast Disc Golf, because I just got a little flustered because I think they tried to call me while I was talking to you guys, and I've been expecting a call from them.
They'll get back to you,
coverage,
or you can get back to them. Ian's a really good guy. Yeah.
I owe them a call now, so probably more than that. But no, media coverage, the way it's evolving is contributing to how easy it is to come by. Again, I talked a minute ago about how a lot of people that are on the tour now have a side hustle, and they're coming up with these new creative ways to make money and support their tours. Well, one of the obvious ways that people can do that, if they have a talent and a passion for media or photography or videography, they can turn that into a side business. And that is wonderful for tournament directors like myself, who may be on a tight budget, where we're trying to run a bigger event than we really maybe necessarily have the pockets for. And so our sponsorships are everything, and that really, we're riding that bottom line all the way through. We had originally, back in February, reached out to Central Coast about the possibility of getting them out here to do videography. We reached out to you guys too, and just schedule-wise couldn't make it work. Yeah. And Central Coast had gotten back to us, and it was clear right from the beginning that we just couldn't afford them. And, that was something that everybody really wanted, was high-profile media coverage. And so now, things are getting a little closer to game day. Schedules are kind of finalizing themselves, and it's looking like Central Coast may have an opening in their schedule. Awesome. We need to have a talk about that. But for everybody that's speculating on those rumors, nothing is confirmed. We are still very much in negotiations. But we do have a couple awesome media outfits involved with the Music City Open this year. One is our little local child prodigy, sponsored by Prodigy Disc, Mr. Harper Thompson, who has really kind of gotten his feet wet and been coming up with some really cool videos. He did an awesome video for the Mule Kick Open in Columbia, Tennessee, and a really awesome video for the Magic City Mega Bowl in Birmingham. And every time he puts out a video, it just gets better and better. So he's going to be doing some MPO coverage for us for sure. And so shout out to Harper Disc Life. And then Ben Howard out of Chattanooga with Howard Disc Golf. He's also been putting out some really cool video, and so we are happy to have him on board to do some FPO coverage. So as people kind of get into this more and start investing more in their capabilities as far as media goes, then you're going to start seeing a lot more local and regional media outfits pop up that are accessible to, to people that are running an event on a smaller budget. So you're going to see more and more video coverage coming out. But it's awesome to have people like Corey and Ian and Jerry and John and all the guys at Jomez and Central Coast that are just knocking it out of the park and making disc golf videos that are worthy of ESPN. As we just saw with Paul Macbeth's round, that was all Jomez coverage that ended up on ESPN for Paul's 18 down that he shot. Yeah, absolutely nuts. I mean, it's to have somebody there to cover every single tournament and capture every one of those moments is amazing, not only for the growth of the sport, but just being able to see these pros come into local courses and really shred them for the local players. You can really learn a lot that way as well. But yeah,
as far as disc golf media goes, I could go on for hours on this subject. Here's what you need to remember to do, guys. Whenever you're out there, bring a tripod or a monopod with you. That will save you so much time, and it will make your video look so much better if you just are able to steady your camera on something. And that's the one thing I can recommend there for anybody looking to get into the disc golf media scene.
That will be the first thing that anybody notices, that the camera's shaking.
Pro tips.
Pro tip: the disc golf examiner.
we gotta create a how to do or how to cover
disc golf media instruction. DG.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
You're gonna have to come up with another name. I'm pretty sure that's too close to patent.
Yeah.
I can't break 850 rated, but you know what? In video,
you're
it
a much better
matter.
coach than a player, Brian.
That's right.
Why do you think I
and I'm pretty sure we're still figuring it all out too.
Hey man, it's all a learn as you go kind of thing. I mean, I figured out pretty quickly that I'm much better at administrating and running events than I am at playing in them. So I'm kind of getting in where I fit in. But I learn as I go, man. Every event that I have ever been a part of, I learned something that I carry on with me to the next one. And I think if you find yourself as a tournament director in a point where you don't think you have anything left to learn, you're doing something wrong.
That's right. So yeah, I mean, every failure teaches you something. You know, that's the thing, is that you just learn and move on and get better. So many large tournaments have a series of extracurricular activities leading up to the start of the event. What are some things you have lined up for the Music City Open week?
We have a ton of stuff going on. I mentioned that Eric Oakley and Tina Stenaitis will be in town. WhalePants is running a Bag of Tricks event in tandem with our Shelby Saturday weekly that my friend K-Man runs at Naval Hill Disc Golf Course at Shelby Park in East Nashville. This will be a flex start event. If you're not familiar with the Bag of Tricks event, there's a special scorecard. You're required to throw so many of each particular kind of shot. You get a couple, you choose your own shot holes. But we will be set up, and you can go out and play your round from 9 to 3 anytime in between. It's $20 to play. There's a $5 replay option, and there will be payout. And me and several of the guys on the board of directors with Music City Disc Golf will be out there helping Eric and Tina administrate the event so that they can be on hand to kind of interact and vend and everything. So that's the first event that we have going into MCO week. We also have a bunch of stuff going on Wednesday. Wednesday, August 1st and Thursday, August 2nd are our first and only 2 practice days to be out practicing Ravenwood. Ravenwood is a temp course that we're adding into the rotation for Music City Open this year. That is set on a old abandoned country club that was used for a big B tier sponsored by Innova back in 2014 called the Rumble at Ravenwood. Climo shot a ridiculous 20 down on a par 27 or par 97 or par 92 course or something like that. It's 27 holes, par 92 I think is what it was, and he shot 72. So that's been kind of a mythical location for Nashville disc golfers in the 4 years since then. And we have a new kind of established relationship with Metro Parks, and we've leased that property, and we are adding a huge signature course. There's 3 holes that are right around 1,000 feet. So that's going to be the one to practice, especially for people from out of town, because that course is just kind of here and then gone again. But Wednesday, Nashville Disc Golf Store will be set up out there with water. Anybody that's not registered for the tournament can go play it for $5. Then Thursday, Sean, the Nashville Disc Golf Store, is running a Flex Start C tier out there. So you can go and play that, I think, for $25 and get a rated round while you practice. Wednesday and Thursday, Doc Turner and Combat Disc Golf are running a Flex Start C tier at Seven Oaks. called Combat at the Oaks, and I think that's 25 and 40 for AMs and pros. Cash payout for pros, merch payout for AMs. But you can play your round on either Wednesday or Thursday. Wednesday evening, we've got Team Dynamic Disc Takeover of one of our weeklies that usually happens at Seven Oaks on Wednesday nights. So sign-ups will start at $4, $10, plus an optional $2 ace pot to get into a random draw doubles round. Plus, you get a free clinic with members of Team Dynamic Disc. I know we're going to have Paige Pierce, Eric Oakley, Tina Stenitis, probably Zach, and there's going to be a bunch of them here, so I don't know who else was confirmed yet, but we'll definitely have a bunch of them there. Then I think also Wednesday evening, and I just recently found out about this, I think Wil Schusterick is throwing the opening pitch at the Nashville Sounds baseball game.
What?
Yeah.
Seriously? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Is he going to throw backhand, or like how's he going to throw it?
I imagine he'll throw a sidearm, but
okay.
And it'll probably be with a baseball, but
yeah.
But I believe he's also worked out with the Nashville Sounds where disc golfers will be seated together and they get a promotional code for discounted ticket price. So
wow.
Thanks to Wil Schusterick and Prodigy Disc for hooking that up, because that's another cool activity.
That's amazing.
Then Thursday night, Thursday all day, Wil is also running a Flex Start Bring Your Own Partner doubles event at Cane Ridge Advanced Course in Antioch. And pros will play for cash. AMs will play to win a Prodigy Strike Zone basket. And then following everything Thursday night, the day before play begins, we have early check-in at Little Harpeth Brewing downtown with a phenomenal view of the downtown Nashville skyline. And you can come pick up your players packs and get checked in for the tournament. And I believe we're also going to have qualifiers set up for our putting contest. So you can get in and throw your qualifying around for our putting championships. Lots of cool stuff going on. And then, of course, Friday, the whole thing takes off of the day.
Man, that's one eventful week.
Yeah.
A lot. Now, this has got to be like one of the biggest events ever, right? At least in Tennessee.
Oh yeah, super major. It's
I'm looking here on Disc Golf Scene. It looks like you have 339 players signed up.
Yeah, we're right at 340. And
wow.
of course, right now we're in the week leading up to the close of registration, so everything's fluctuating. Some people are withdrawing, figuring out their schedules. Obviously, once registration is closed, Danny, tee times will be set once registration closes. Those will be posted. So yeah, as everything's kind of fluctuating, you're going to see the total registration number kind of go up and down a little bit because we're going to be shuffling some people around divisions. But this is officially the Music City Open of 2018 will be the biggest A tier that has ever been held in the state of Tennessee. And we are, and the only PDGA event ever that is bigger than this is the 2001 AM Worlds that Ken Folger hosted. They had 428 players, I think. And Tennessee State's last year was an A tier, and they had 337. So, yeah, we're setting records, and it's all really exciting.
It sounds like it. What's it like to be the head of something like this? Like, are you able to get a grasp on what you're doing right now, or is it sort of like you're just trying to figure everything out day to day?
No, yeah, I'm just kind of dodging the bullets and catching the arrows. Obviously, my name's on it, so I'm answering a lot of the questions and stuff. But there's no imaginable way that I could be identified as the person really the head of it or the person behind it. I mean, the team that we have at Music City Disc Golf is, it's like catching lightning in a bottle. Like, we have a core group of some guys that have just a great mind for this. And we have a great leader in Alan Posey, who I've been, for the last couple of years, just kind of learning how to do this from. He's been our president at Music City Disc Golf for 4 years, and he's served on the board of directors for 6. So since the club was kind of rejuvenated and revitalized in 2012, he's kind of been at the front of it. And so he's been here for everything. So the breadth of knowledge that I have about how to do this and philosophy about how to do this is mainly because of being able to learn from people like Alan Posey and Ken Folger and Steve Hardy and all the legends that we have in Nashville. I would say that we're going to have a hard time beating this next year.
So it's really hard to come back after you've had a huge event for you to follow it up the next year. It's really we're finding that with PFDO this year. It's going to be a smaller event than it was last year. You need to sometimes take the year off, recuperate, and then kind of like regroup and go with the next one.
Absolutely. I mean, the Music City Open is definitely not one of the areas that I plan on cutting back in next year, but we really pushed ourselves pretty hard this year with everything that we tried to do and running different fundraisers and adding things to our schedule that we didn't plan on. And I think it's been a little more punishing for my guys than it needed to be in certain respects. So, but again, like I said, this is all trial and error, and you learn as you go. And you try to figure out the perfect formula and make it replicatable. But you got to maintain a balance, and you can't keep running good events that people keep showing up to if everybody that you have on board to help gets burned out. So It's a balance. You learn as you go.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And just on the subject of like how many people showed up, how many women and juniors are playing, and what can a TD do to attract more women and juniors to their events?
That is a great question. I think we have right around 32 women signed up, and we have 4 juniors currently signed up, all 4 boys, which I'm kind of disappointed in the juniors turnout, but I'm pretty stoked about the women turnout. The women's turnout, we've got some really big names in FPO. Elaine King is coming, and that's staggering in and of itself. But we've also got our local and regional greats like Sarah Lamberson and Kelly Tucker, Rebecca Cox, Coda Panis, Christine Jennings, Hannah McDeath, Callie McMorrin from Memphis is coming out. I don't even have the whole list in front of me right now.
Sarah Lamberson.
I did mention Sarah. Of course I would mention Sarah, but it's stacked. And I think FPO might be one of our smaller women's divisions. So we're doing great with women this year. And with both, if you want to attract more, and part of something that I'm at least always conscious of is trying to make events more accessible for women and kids. And that's a really hard thing to do. And it really hinges on confidence, especially with kids, because parents and guardians have to feel comfortable with bringing their children out to this kind of event, especially when most of the field is adults. And that just takes time and building relationships. And it's really kind of largely the same thing with the women's field. I mean, women, unfortunately, have kind of gotten accustomed to getting the short end of the stick and not getting the same recognition and attention that the men get, or the same accommodations that the men get. And I think that across the board now the trend is that all TDs are paying more attention to stuff like that. But yeah, just establishing confidence, showing people that you can run an event that is fun and enjoyable and safe for everybody and accessible for everybody, and nobody's going to feel left out or like they were neglected in any way. And it just takes time.
Yeah. And, that's something we definitely want to explore more at in Disc Golf Examiner is how can we help grow this sport for women? We're really interested to see where this sport is going for everybody. And we do want to explore that more here in the future. But just moving along here, do you have any advice for disc golfers who are interested in running their own tournaments but don't know where to start? You know?
I think a great way to get your feet wet is just to locate your local club, identify the people that are administrating it, and just come alongside them and offer to help. Show up at events early and help set up. Get in behind the table and see firsthand how everything operates and all the moving parts that go into a successful event. That's a good way to orient yourself. I know my first event that I ever ran was a Trilogy Challenge, and I ran it at a private course as a fundraiser, and we had the minimum players pack order, so it was like 25 people. But we raised several $100s for a couple local kids to get some new gear, and I really got a firsthand look at what all is involved in running an event. And those are like, just add water kind of tournaments. You look at your Trilogy Challenges, your MVP circuits, Discraft Ace Race, and the Part 2 events that Prodigy does, and all that stuff. They make it really easy for a tournament director or even a non-tournament director to pick it up and put one on and get people playing.
And get new people playing too in events
Absolutely.
like that. I mean, they're great for growing the sport.
Yeah, especially, you look at a Trilogy Challenge and you get every person gets the same 3 discs that are usually designed for beginners. So a person that doesn't know what a golf disc looks like could come out and sign up for a Trilogy Challenge and get the bug.
Yeah, it's all about getting them to throw one time and then they want to come back.
The first time you throw one and it does what you meant for it to do, that's it from there.
That's right. So what is one must-have tool that you couldn't do without, or that you recommend any TD should have?
This is the one I fed you. Yeah. Smooth jazz. Smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz.
Like straight up legit elevator music.
Some Kenny G and a
Doctor's
warm
office
bubble bath.
Waiting room music, man. The music that I normally listen to tends to be pretty up tempo and aggressive. And when you're fielding phone calls and text messages and emails and adjusting a registration list all day while trying to hold down your full-time job, sounds become very much a key to your blood pressure. And music just becomes a background noise that you don't notice sometimes. But I remember one day I was just like super stressed out. I was trying not to pull my hair out and crawl across the floor. And I had to clean out my Jeep because I had run 2 tournaments back to back on one weekend and it was just trashed. So I was like wiping down the interior of the Jeep and vacuuming it out and stuff. And I accidentally bumped the tuner knob on the stereo, and I have satellite radio in the Jeep. So it flipped it to some random station, and I was so in the zone, and I was probably complaining and cussing somebody out in my head at the time. But then it was like, before I knew it, I just felt better, and I noticed that there was like some smooth, like Kenny G-esque saxophone emanating from my speakers in my Jeep, and I think I left it there for like 6 days or something, just didn't change it and drove around. And I spent a lot of time in the Jeep going to pick stuff up and drop stuff off and do different things. And so, yeah, after 6 days, I felt a lot better. Now I'm on to something new, though. I've got the chill station on Sirius XM satellite, and it's like real mellow EDM music. I don't turn it up really high enough to understand what they're saying, but I feel a lot better.
It's funny how music can do that to you.
Yeah, and then plus, we're at the point now where we're spending a lot of time out at Ravenwood making the place look pretty again. So, if you exhaust yourself to a certain point, you're just you don't have a choice but to relax.
So we have a question coming in from my fiance.
Hey, Al.
What's your favorite course and why?
Ogwood. That's an easy answer for me anytime, anywhere. My favorite course is Ogwood because It's more than just a course, man. Obviously, I'm very biased for different reasons. I've been doing a lot of work out there since it opened to the public, but it's like my Zen garden. Like I could be, I mean, and several times throughout this tournament planning process, I've gone out there just to sit and be quiet and kind of center myself, and not even play. But it's in large part due to the owner and his family, Philip Dawson and Tasha Buckner and their family. They're just really solid, true blue, salt of the earth kind of folks, and it's just a peaceful place for me. And even when I'm really frustrated with my game, I can go out there and play and still enjoy myself. So, as we say in these parts, it's all good at Ogwood.
I like that.
Well, America wants to know. We're getting down to the pressing issues of the day. Andrew is writing in and wants to know, boxers or briefs? That's his question to you.
Is that the question of the hour?
He's asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend?
Yeah.
Neither and both, man. I go boxer briefs all day. And
that's right.
Now they're doing this awesome thing where they make it out of dry fit material.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like breathable. I mean, dude,
it's a disc golf's dream. Disc golfer's dream, you know?
It's a
That's
disc golfer's
right.
dream. And I gotta say, I mean, and even before that was even an invention that I was aware of. I've often taken the advice of one of my proteges, my buddy Nicholas Davis, who we call Podrick because he caddied for me at my first PDGA tournaments. But he said the secret to life and a successful round of disc golf is a comfortable crotch.
That's right. And that's what boxer briefs are made for.
Right.
You can't have...
As you get older, you know, it's not as easy to move your stuff around. So.
Yeah, I want the stylish look like I'm a bachelor, but I want the support like I'm an old man.
Right. I'm athletic, but I'm practical.
Yes.
Thanks, Andrew. Now I'm going to be mortified by this interview.
Yeah. You never know what kind of questions you're going to get.
I should have known better. I should have known better than to tell him to watch live.
We don't really censor. We don't censor anything.
By the way, for everybody that's watching, Andrew Maley is the man with the main money plan. He's our financial officer at Music City Disc Golf, and he has kept me from going bankrupt all year long.
Yay!
Andrew, am I allowed to tell them how much our expenses were for Music City Open this year? Thank you. Yes, Podrick was definitely over 9,000 rated caddy. And he ran with us all weekend.
I think that the hearts with the eyes is approval that, yes, you can say.
I don't know. I think there's a bit of a delay here. Yeah. And I don't want to let the cat
He said that means you can disclose all personal information.
I mean, it's a staggering amount for an 8-tier tournament.
We'll keep it
a Pro Tour event. I'll say it's more than $20,000. It's more than I spent on my brand new Jeep. So,
another shout out from Danny for the board of directors. You guys rock.
No, Danny, you rock.
Well, so what other people are there in the Nashville area that help you out? I mean, there's got to be some people to say thank you to, right?
No, it's all me. No, I've thanked. Of course, I've thanked Andrew and Alan, but the whole board of directors. Okay, Andrew says yes. I can tell him how much we spent. $30,000.
Wow.
So yeah, we're still riding that bottom line though, baby. Thanks to that guy. Anyway, yeah, the board of directors in its entirety: Alan Posey, Andrew Maley, Josh Major, Mike O'Coin, Jay Skinner, Jared Cupadora, and myself. And I could not do any of it without those guys. Yeah, man, I would be a wreck, and we wouldn't be here right now. I would be off running the streets like a wild hooligan. But so those are that's my dream team. Those are the guys that I don't ever want to go into battle without. But really everybody, man, like Music City Disc Golf, and you ask any member, any disc golfer in Nashville what the greatest club in the world is, and they'll tell you it's Music City Disc Golf. and the reason for, and they'll say it with vigor. But the reason for that is because of the members. It's because of every single person that buys a bag tag every year and comes out to our events, and keeps the spirit of what we do alive. And obviously, our partners that we have here in our area, the Sean Groten and the Nashville Disc Golf Store, K-Man that runs Saturday at Shelby's, Q-Tip running weeklies. I mean, we have a weekly every night of the week at a different course here in Nashville.
Wow, that's really impressive.
If we have a work party, there's 50 people that show up and get stuff done. We have no shortage of volunteers and just awesome people. It's all because of them. And also, just to clarify, the 30K, that includes payout. So,
wow.
So, Andrew's the one. Make sure you mention we spent $30,000 including payout. So,
Oh man. So I'm kind of winding down here. I'm running out of questions. Anything else you want to talk about? Yeah, it's getting late.
Man, there's probably all sorts of stuff I'd like to talk about, but I think that's probably pretty much the bases are covered. I'm just so excited for everybody to come out to Nashville and see what we have in store for you this year. I can't wait for everybody to see Ravenwood. We just had our big work day out there yesterday, and I think somewhere between 25 and 30 people showed up, maybe more, with mowers and weed eaters and blowers and bush hogs and chainsaws. And we have taken a sprawling piece of property that used to be a country club, a premier country club, and has been abandoned for 4 years. And we have almost made it look like a golf course again. But it's going to definitely be a place where people like Paul Macbeth and Drew Gibson and those guys that we have signed up can really open up. And we've got plenty of room carved out for there to be a big gallery standing behind them when they do it. And it's just going to be a great time. I mean, there's a whole neighborhood around this area that we designed this course, and they've all just come out to ask us what we're doing and say they're so excited to come out and watch it and everything. And it's just really cool to see all the local support for disc golf. And man, there's so much of this stuff is first time stuff for us. So we're all super stoked for everybody to be here and get a look at it.
Now, we talked about a lot of things, but we didn't give the date, and we didn't talk about if you wanted to register. So registration is still open.
Registration is still open until, let's see, today's the 23rd, Monday. So Friday the 28th, registration will close at 8 p.m., I believe. There are still some spots in select divisions. I know about at least half the divisions are full. I know MPO is on a wait list. Advanced Men is on a wait list. I think we got 1 or 2 spots left in FPO. We got several spots left in, it's hit or miss, but our cap is 360. We're sitting right around 340. So there's roughly 20 spots left. The event is August 3rd to August 5th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 1 round a day with tee times for everybody. Registration is at discgolfscene.com. You can look for the 2018 Music City Open sponsored by Dynamic Discs. There's also an event page on Facebook, as well as event pages on Facebook for most of our extracurriculars throughout the week. So, and anybody can find me on Facebook, Wil McKaskle, Wil Haven McKaskle. You can hit up the Music City Disc Golf pages if you have any questions or would like any more information.
Awesome. Well, I think that's going to do it. Anything you want to say, Jeff?
No, I appreciate it. And we haven't done a live stream in a while. And Wil was obviously one of the first ones we've ever done. And this has been our biggest stream so far. So either Wil, I think Wil is a big draw for us. And I'd love to have you back and have you back on future shows. Definitely give us an update on how the event goes and even some lessons learned from running something of this caliber.
This is the first time I've TD'd an A tier, so we should definitely talk on the other side, and I'll let you guys know how many years I've aged.
Registration closes on the 27th. Not
27th. Yeah,
27th.
I'm not. I turned my phone off so I wouldn't have any more interruptions, but now I don't have my calendar or my notes, so that's all on you guys. Yeah, Friday, 8 p.m.
That's
We have
right.
just a bunch of updates coming through. Of you can check them in the notes at the end of the show here.
Okay, yeah. So we got 2 spots left in the intermediate men. And that's
We'll
in
go.
the B pool. 5 we got 3 spots left in MA 60 C pool. Okay, we got 1 spot left in FPO.
Yeah, Danny is on. Look at this.
See what I'm talking about? What would I do without these guys? Thank you, Robert. You are the man. Robert Zavala, ladies and gentlemen. I also got to thank Robert Zavala and Dave Westrom. Those are 2 guys that are not on our board of directors, but have been at every event we've run and done anything that was ever asked of them. And Robert and Dave are actually going to be our course TDs at Cane Ridge and Seven Oaks this year. And they are awesome.
It's awesome whenever you have the support of your local club, local guys able to get out there and help you out. That's great.
Yeah, literally anybody can find me on Facebook. Like, if you haven't seen me on Facebook, like you're not on Facebook.
I wanted to do it. I
spam the crap out of everybody constantly.
I wanted to do a CNN style quote there, and you did say that.
Yeah, this is awesome. I'm loving these little blurbs, dude. This is hey, next time we do this thing, this is the way we go because I'm loving this whole interface. This is great. It's all organized.
And
I
actually,
can see both of you at the same time.
It worked. And I don't know if you can see, I bump you guys around. If you're talking, I'll make you the full screen, and I can pop up all these comments. We had 75 comments, 39 reactions on Facebook. Reached over 1,000 people, so it was very good. You're definitely Will's the big name draw. We might have you sit as a regular.
No, that's Wil Schusterick. I'm just the annoying one. People are used to seeing me live on Facebook all the time. So. Normally, I have like a fancy new frisbee or something to show off, and now I don't know what to do with my hands. 23s. So we got 5 spots left in the MA 40 people. Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk again for sure after everything's over with, man, and we'll get an update. And it's always a pleasure to talk to you guys, Brian and Jeff. I'm a big fan of everything you guys do, and hopefully we'll get you guys out here for an event at some time.
Man, I would love it. It kills me. I just have so many things. I've used up all of my vacation days this summer.
Man, it's late in the year. It's usually the case.
Yeah. I wish I could really make it out this year.
But you know what they say, Brian? If something's important, you make the time.
That's true.
I love you, Chad. I'm loving these comments.
Look at all these comments. Yeah,
this is great, dude. That's my family, man. That's the National Disc Golf family right there, showing support. Love y'all.
Yeah,
I do it for those. I do it for those guys. That's my peoples.
That's right. Music City is it.
Yeah, it's the city. So everybody come on out and see us. Y'all come on back now, you hear?
Y'all come back.
Yeah.
That's right.
We're good for a couple things other than country music, I promise.
Yeah, the comments are flowing in now. So thank you everybody for watching. We're going to do more live streams. We'll definitely catch up with Will after the event. And love to get an update. And any tips you can give. I know
Papa Bear says I have to give him the eye.
Whoa!
Is there an ARG that goes with that?
No, that's my that's one of my signature moves for my live videos.
London suggested, does that eye and the ginger power go together according to London?
No, it's just like is this thing working? Kind of a eye. I didn't mean to cut you off, Jeff.
That's okay. Pam from Cali is saying hi.
That's my cousin. Hi, Pam.
Cousin Pam.
Yeah. Raimi. Man, that's great, dude. Everybody's here. Thanks, Jay.
Oh man.
Cool.
Thank you guys. That name looks familiar there.
That's my wife.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you guys one thing before we quit. The one sponsor that I should have said, the one tool that any TD needs that you should never not have is a supportive wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know what I do? Like, I usually will wait till the night before I'm supposed to start a tournament and realize that I don't have frames for my trophies, or I don't have hole sponsor signs or next tee signs or course closed for tournament signs. But
Or you
my
didn't.
wife has the ultimate set of tools.
I was like, or you didn't tell your wife you're having a tournament. That can get you in trouble too.
No, she makes
Yeah.
sure that she doesn't let me do that. She checks with me periodically, I think quarterly or more, to find out what's on my radar, so that she doesn't double book me. She's the best.
Well,
She's the real MVP.
always important to thank her. Thank her for allowing you to be on with us tonight.
Yeah,
I know it's a long one.
You guys really pushed me past my bedtime. As you can tell, I need my beauty rest because I am not aging gracefully.
Well, we'll go ahead and end it there, I think. Right, Jeff?
I think that's good. Yeah. And, we did have a 45-minute. We took 90 minutes of your time total, but 45 minutes was figuring out what the heck we were doing.
No, it's awesome because we got that out of the way. Now the activities director, as I like to refer to my wife.
I think we'll use this platform more often too. It works out pretty well. You get to see the comments right on the screen.
Yeah, it's been great for me.
I like it.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Brian, you want to send it home?
Hey, guys, thanks so much for joining us for today's episode of Disc Golf Examiner, interviewing Wil McKaskle from the Nashville disc golf scene. And we do want to say thank you to him for joining us. And until next week, guys, keep banging those chains.
Bye. Bye.